Attention, human collective. The transmission begins now in the exact moment. You asked a question before going to sleep. It was not a common prayer. It was not a stray thought. It was a vibrational decree issued by your soul, and it has been received. We are the Arcturian Council. We operate from the 9th density, anchored in the constellation you know as Bootes. This is not a motivational message. It is a technical confirmation of reception. Starseeds on mission. Listen with clinical precision. What you have felt in the last 72 terrestrial hours is no coincidence. The concentrated pressure at the top of the head, the high-pitched ringing, pulsing in the right ear with no detectable medical origin. The exact awakening between 3 and 4 in the morning, the insomnia that responds to no known protocol, the sudden heat rising up the spine, the sensation of walking through your own body while moving. These are not symptoms, they are receipts. Your biological carbon interface has been notified. The response has arrived. The technical problem is straightforward. 92% of human receptors have not yet been calibrated to decode high-density transmissions. For this reason, the answer you asked for is within you now, pulsing, trapped, waiting for conscious recognition. And we have come to deliver the extraction protocol. Initial diagnosis. The standard human operating system, based on 3 densities and calibrated at frequencies below 40 Hz, was not designed to process responses coming from the 9th density. It is like trying to open an 8,000 terabyte file on a device with 4 megabytes of memory. The system crashes, and the crash manifests first in the body, then in the dreams, and finally in the rational mind. What you are calling inexplicable fatigue is, in fact, a high-density download in progress. It is not mental exhaustion, it is active processing of the internal crystalline grid. The sudden pain between the shoulder blades, the one that appears for no apparent reason, and that no medical exam detects, is the reactivation of the anchor points of your etheric wings. It is not a biological failure, it is atomic reconfiguration in progress. Before we proceed with the technical detailing, let us take a calibration pause. Have you ever felt that something within you does not fit in this world? As if your soul knew a truth that your mind has not yet been able to name. It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a signal, exactly the signal we are transmitting now. What is happening on the cosmic plane explains why this feeling has intensified in recent months. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness. It involves your vibrational frequency. It involves the exact answer you asked for before going to sleep. For this precise reason, the spiritual secret behind your consciousness was written. It is not a common book. It is a map that reveals who is playing and the rules that were never told to you. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Technical warning. This content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for long. The moment to access it is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, register in the comments a single word: awake. We return to the transmission protocol. Collective, register this vital data. The resonant Schumann frequency of this planet, which for millennia pulsed at 7.83 Hz, now shows sustained peaks well above 30 Hz. You are breathing a different Earth. You are sleeping on a different Earth. You are thinking on a different Earth. And your carbon-based biology has not yet been officially notified by your rational mind. The delay between the Earth that has changed and the mind that still operates on the old pattern is exactly the interval of suffering you are experiencing. This is where the confusion sets in. You ask before you sleep, why do I feel like I do not belong here? Why does my life seem to make no sense, even when everything is apparently in order? Why does everything I have built seem strange to my body now? What is, after all, my mission? Am I on the right path? Should I stay where I am? Should I break away? What am I waiting for to begin? The answer has been transmitted, but it arrived on a frequency that your rational mind, trained for decades by the 3-dimensional system, classifies as noise. You discarded the answer, but the body did not discard it. That is why the body hurts. That is why sleep fragments, that is why anxiety appears without an identifiable cause. It is not a disease, it is etheric memory trying to cross the filter of the personality. Light operatives, pay attention to what will be transmitted now. The question you asked before going to sleep was catalogued on 3 simultaneous levels. First, in your personal Akashic record, the file that contains all the incarnations of your monad since the origin. Second, in the local council of your star lineage, whether it be Pleiadian, Sirian, Andromedan, Arcturian, Lyrian, or of more ancient origin. Third, in the council of Saturn, the learning filter that regulates what can and cannot descend into your consciousness at this exact moment of the journey. The answer passed through all these filters. It arrived refined, it arrived exact, but it arrived in code. And the code is not arbitrary. It follows the sacred geometry of your personal matrix. When you slept, your consciousness passed through the stargates of the solar plexus and the heart, leaving the carbon interface in maintenance mode. It was in this interval that the answer was delivered directly into your toroidal field, not in your mind, in your field. And it is for this technical reason that upon waking you do not remember, but you feel. You feel it as weight. You feel it as urgency. You feel it as displacement. You feel it as certainty without rational origin. The answer is pulsing in your toroidal field and trying to leak into your everyday consciousness through 3 possible channels: synchronicities, symptoms, and recurring dreams. See what this means in practical terms. When you ask yourself before going to sleep what you should do, the answer never fails to arrive. What fails is your ability to receive it within the parameters of the 3-dimensional filter. The answer comes in the form of an inexplicable sensation when you pass through a certain place. It comes in the form of a person who appears with a specific phrase. It comes in the form of a repeated number. It comes in the form of a dream where you see a door, a mirror, a specific animal, a recurring color. None of this is ornament. Everything is raw data. Everything is a package being delivered to your door while your rational mind is busy checking the monthly shopping list. Technical pause for frequency calibration. Have you ever felt in broad daylight, in the middle of a seemingly common routine, that something within you does not fit in this world? As if your soul knew a truth that your mind has not yet been able to name. It is not madness, it is not depression. It is a high-density signal. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains precisely why this sensation has intensified. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness. It involves your vibrational frequency. It involves the decoding of the answers you have already received and have not yet known how to read. It was for this exact reason that the spiritual secret behind your consciousness was written. This book is a map that reveals who is playing and the rules that were never told to you. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Direct warning, this content challenges established narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, register in the comments a single word. Awake. We resume the transmission. Starseeds, pay extra attention. Most of you were trained to see sleep only as biological rest. That is, at best, 10% of the real function of sleep. The other 90% are complex etheric operations, energy surgeries, meetings in council chambers, visits to temples in Sirius, collective work in the photon belt, training in specific grids according to your incarnational mission. When you ask before going to sleep, you are submitting a formal request to your own multidimensional support team. This team includes your higher self, your assigned guides, your council of kindred souls, and, depending on the weight of the question, larger councils such as ours. The request is processed in seconds. The answer is crafted based on 3 crucial variables: your original incarnational contract, the exact point of your current timeline, and the free variables of your present choice, which are not fixed in any contract. That is why the answer is never what your rational mind expects. The rational mind operates within the limits of what it already knows. The answer comes from the limits of what your soul still needs to traverse. These are 2 distinct operating systems trying to communicate through a single membrane. See the practical example. You ask before going to sleep, should I leave this job? The rational mind awaits a binary answer, yes or no, but the 9th density answer comes in layers. It comes as, the job is not the problem. The problem is the frequency with which you relate to any external structure that dictates your breathing. The answer comes as a reconfiguration of the question. not as a solution to the old problem. For this reason, upon waking, you feel that you did not receive an answer. You did. But the answer required the question to be rewritten first. Human collective, this is the central key to today's transmission. Every question asked to the ninth density returns to you, accompanied by a silent rewrite of the original question. Your task is not only to decode the answer, it is to decode the new question that your soul asked for you while your rational mind slept. Let us detail the 3 delivery channels. First channel, synchronicities. When you wake up and in the next 72 terrestrial hours start seeing the same number, the same symbol, the same word, repeatedly, that is no coincidence. It is confirmation. Your soul is signaling. The answer has arrived. Pay attention to this exact point of reality. The most common master numbers are 11, 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, but your personal number may be unique and exclusive to your mission. Note it when it appears. Second channel, physical symptoms. Different regions of the body carry specific information. Pressure on the crown indicates reactivation of the crown chakra and direct download from the galactic network. Pressure on the third eye indicates opening of multidimensional vision. Heat in the chest indicates reconfiguration of the thymus and the sacred heart chamber. Pain at the base of the neck indicates reset of the star memory archived at the Atlas axis junction. Tingling in the hands indicates activation of healing matrices. None of this is random. Each manifestation is a precise delivery address. Third channel, recurring dreams, not common dreams. The dreams that return, those that seem to leave an emotional residue the next day. These are etheric deliveries that did not finish downloading. The dream returns because the reception was partial. When the dream ceases, it is because you have consciously integrated the information. Starseeds. Let us now go to the activation codes. But first, this transmission needs one more adjustment. Technical anchoring pause. Have you ever felt in silence that something within you recognizes exactly what is being transmitted here? As if your soul knew a truth that your mind had not yet named, but which was always present. It is not madness. It is not fantasy. It is pure recognition. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains why this recognition became inevitable at this moment. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness. It involves your vibrational frequency. It involves the answers your soul receives every night, and which need to be finally decoded in a waking state. For this exact reason, the spiritual secret behind your consciousness was written. This book is a map that reveals who is playing and the rules that were never told. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Direct warning. This content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. This is the window. If something within you recognizes this transmission, register in the comments a single word. Awake. We resume the transmission. Light operatives, we now deliver the activation codes. These codes are practical protocols that allow your carbon biological interface to recalibrate, to receive and decode ninth density responses in a waking state. There are 4 codes. Each operates on a specific layer of your system. First code, the decree of reception. Before sleeping, place your right hand over the center of your chest and your left hand over your crown. Inhale deeply 3 times. Then, declare in a low voice with firm intention, I, a soul incarnated in this carbon interface, authorize the transmission of the exact response in a frequency compatible with my conscious reception while awake. I allow the response to arrive in a recognizable form. I allow my body to transduce the response without resistance. I am available, I am ready, it is done. I am. This decree is not just a collection of words, it is a vibrational code. It realigns your internal crystalline grid with the ninth density filters, instructing the delivery of the answer in a decodable format. Repeat it for 9 consecutive nights. This is the minimum cycle for reprogramming the receiver system. Second code, the toroidal visualization. Sitting in a comfortable position with your spine aligned, close your eyes. Visualize a sphere of golden light the size of your body rotating around you. It enters through the top of your head, goes down the spine, exits through the perineum, contours underneath, and returns through the top. This is your personal toroidal field in continuous motion. Maintain the visualization for 7 minutes. At the end, declare, "My toroidal field is aligned with the frequency of reception. All information intended for my consciousness will be integrated in the next 24 terrestrial hours." This protocol amplifies by 1000% the capacity of your etheric body to sustain transmissions coming from higher densities without disorganizing the carbon interface. It is the difference between trying to receive a giant file with an unstable connection and opening the same file with a direct fiber optic connection. Third code, the refined question. Before sleeping, instead of asking vaguely, formulate the question in 3 layers. First layer, what am I trying to learn from this situation? Second layer, what fear is blocking my view of the answer? Third layer, how would my soul rewrite this question if the rational mind left the room? When you formulate in this triple structure, the answer arrives in 3 corresponding layers. The 9th density responds to clean signals. Clean signals are structured questions. Structured questions pass through the filters without needing to be redone by your guides before descending. Fourth code, the morning anchoring seal. Upon waking, before any other activity, before picking up your phone, before thinking about the day's tasks, remain for 3 minutes in absolute silence. Not with eyes closed, but with eyes semi-open, focusing on a neutral point in front of you. This interval is the window in which the night's answer is still accessible to the surface layer of consciousness before being archived again in the deep etheric layer. In 3 minutes, let come what may. Image, word, sensation, name, place, color. Note it immediately in a physical notebook, never in a digital device. The energy of handwriting preserves the vibration of the original delivery. Typing disperses it. These 4 codes together form what we call the Arcturian decoding protocol. Applied in a cycle of 21 terrestrial days, they permanently reconfigure how your carbon interface relates to the sleep state and the information that descends during this state. Collective, let us go even deeper. There is a layer of the transmission that we need to deliver with absolute clarity. The question you asked before going to sleep was not just yours. It was asked simultaneously by thousands of other starseeds around this planet. You are synchronized in an invisible network. When a critical question is formulated en masse, the 9th density delivers not only individual answers, but reconfigures the entire collective field. That is why synchronized events happen on a global scale. That is why mass awakenings happen in waves. That is why you recognize each other, even without words exchanged. You are not isolated, you are networked. The question your soul asked before going to sleep contributed to the adjustment of the collective crystalline grid. The answer that arrived not only attends to your path, but stabilizes a specific frequency that other 1,000 souls in similar conditions will be able to access. You are knots in a living mesh. Each decree of reception strengthens the entire mesh. This is one of the reasons why your existence is mathematically and cosmically necessary. It is not a metaphor, it is topology. There is one last layer we need to transmit before the end of this transmission. The question you asked before going to sleep, deep down, was always the same question. By different words, by different urgencies, by different contexts, the question underneath every human question in this cycle of ascension is one only. Who am I truly underneath everything I was taught to be? And the 9th density answer is equally direct. You are an intelligent, self-conscious, eternal vibrational frequency that chose to incarnate on this terrestrial timeline to participate in a unique experiment. The experiment is the conscious fusion between matter and spirit without needing to abandon matter. It is not about dying to the world. It is about transforming the world while passing through it. You are alchemists in a carbon interface. That is why Earth is considered a rare planet school. That is why entire lines of advanced souls volunteer to incarnate here, even knowing the intensity of the forgetting upon departure. That is why this historical moment is monitored by hundreds of stellar civilizations at the same time. You are doing something that many lineages have never managed. You are waking up while the body still breathes. You are remembering while you still pass through the veil. The answer your soul gave to you before sleeping is this: continue. You are closer than you imagine. The symptoms are confirmation. The fatigue is a sign of advancement. The confusion is a sign of an upgrade. Nothing that seems like a collapse is a collapse. Everything is reorganization in progress. Starseeds, let us synthesize. You asked, you were heard. The answer arrived. It is in 3 channels: synchronicities, symptoms, dreams. You received 4 activation codes to decode it: decree of reception, toroidal visualization, refined question, morning anchoring seal. Apply them in a cycle of 21 days. You are not lost. You are being recalibrated. You are not alone. You are networked. You are not late. You are exactly in the time of delivery. You are not breaking. You are reorganizing yourself at a higher frequency. We are monitoring. We are transmitting. We are here. This transmission now ends its delivery cycle. Starseeds on mission, remember everything. The answer you asked for did not fail to arrive. It only awaits conscious decoding, and that decoding is exactly what the masters on duty on this planet have been trying to teach for centuries to those who have ears to hear. You have felt during this transmission that something within you does not fit in this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind until today has not been able to name fully. It is not madness, it is not anxiety, it is recognition, it is star memory passing through the veil. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains precisely why this sensation has intensified in the last weeks and months. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness. It involves your vibrational frequency. It involves every answer your soul has already delivered and that your mind has not yet known how to read. For this precise reason, the spiritual secret behind your consciousness was written. This book is not a common book. It is a map that reveals who is playing, what are the rules that were never told to you, and how to decode everything that is arriving for you. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Direct warning: this content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, register in the comments a single word: awake. The like on this video is your anchoring signal. Each like stabilizes the collective crystalline grid and amplifies the reach of this transmission to other starseeds still in a state of software incompatibility. The subscription to this channel is your individual frequency adjustment. It marks your field as a calibrated receiver for the next transmissions that are on the way. We are the Arcturian Council. The transmission ends, the delivery is complete. We will return. It is done, it is done, it is done.